For my mom, education has always been extremely important. Let's just put it that way. She would encourage my sister and I, if we ever made the mistake of saying we were bored, to sit down and read a book. Her commitment to school is something that I have transferred over to my kids, right? But honestly, I attribute my enjoyment of books today from sitting down in my childhood and doing reading when I was little. My mom would always check with me to ensure I'd completed my homework for the night. She said, as long as you're doing your best, I can't complain. But to her credit though, and this typically meant that in high school years, the best should have been straight A's, where I would have become valedictorian like she was in her high school, which sadly did not happen, but not for her lack of trying. And so I thank her for her tenacity in pursuing education, which I use not only through elementary and high school, but college and grad school as well. Another memory I have of my mom is her being a role model for me as I was growing up. In the early days of my childhood, my mom really was a small business owner, and she has been for decades here in the Holland area. She is a CPA, and in the more recent years has become a certified financial planner as well. And so seeing her start, grow, maintain, rebuild where necessary, and maintain again this business to what it is today was such an inspiration for me. As a young girl, I remember I spent many parts of my summer at her office helping out. And looking back at it, wasn't really probably as much help in my younger years. But then steadily, I was able to really, truly help her out as I got older and had more experience behind me. And in the office, she had a radio and music would be on, just playing background music. And there was the Billy Joel song, The Longest Time, that always seemed to be playing whenever I went in with her on that particular day. When this song came on, I just thinking, oh, this day is gonna take forever. I just want to get out of here. But I would hear that song and be like, oh, here's my song again, right? When I hear that song today, it always takes me back to those summers being with my mom. I think fondly of that time and spending time with my mom, but then at the same time helping her where I could. That just really helped start my financial journey even back then, and being able to have the kind of work ethic to help where I can. I really thank her for taking the time to teach me how to persevere and work hard and do the best that I could in anything that I put my mind to. And throughout my life, hands down, my mom and dad have been my biggest cheerleaders. And my mom has been the cheerleader in charge. I really have my mom to thank for her influence and that dedication to family and instilling that not only with me and my sister, but now something that I can pass along to my boys as well. So Mom, happy 75th birthday. Thank you for being the strong, loving, persistent woman that you are. And I hope I'm living up to all the potential you always knew I had. I love you.
One of my best memories was Trina and I were not yet dating, and we were helping her move out in Emmaus, Pennsylvania, where we met. And there was a group of guys helping her father move her furniture in. It turns out that after that, somebody had asked her opinion of the guys that were there. And she said to Trina, well, you could do better than any of those guys. That included me. But that didn't stop her from being very sweet and generous the first time I came to visit. Even though Trina could have done better, she still put up with me pretty well. I always appreciated her emphasis on the Sunday night family dinners. It's been a little while, but for many years, we were pretty much every Sunday night, the whole family that was in the area would get together. So the grandkids got to spend time with the grandparents.
One good attribute about Ella is that she's so meticulous in everything that she does. it can't be half right. It has to be 100% right. And so it has to be to Ella's standard. I guess that's what makes her such an outstanding CPA. She loves to do taxes, and she looks at most of the angles that can be available. Her ability to pay close attention to details has allowed a special bond between the two of us. And I noticed that also when we were raising our two daughters. She always made certain that they always perform to the best of the skills that God gifted them with. I wish you, Ella, a very happy birthday.
Over the years, I've observed the way you offer advice to us. There are some things that I do try to emulate. One is your outlook is always optimistic. No matter what the challenge is, your approach always seems to be a belief that it's going to work out for the good, like the Bible says. Another one would be the confidence, not only the confidence in the belief that things are going to work out, but also the confidence in yourself and your ability to impact the outcome in a good way. And then the third thing would be the persistence, persevering through the hurdles to get to that outcome. I do try to emulate those things. Yeah, I fall short. But the optimism, I do believe that there's tomorrow and I can try again tomorrow. Thank you for that. I hope this is the best birthday ever.
As I think about childhood memories, one vivid memory that I can think about that so reflects your personality. I was in third grade. It's the Scholastic book writing contest. So every year we had to create a book and illustrate it. And at that time, type up the pages and laminate it. My book was all about me. And the night before everything was due, we were literally staying up almost all night. And you were helping me with it and working on it. And I'm like, this is good enough. And ultimately, I got first place. One of the most important lessons you taught me during my early years was the aspect of excellence. I have told you over the years, for the longest time, I was telling my friends, you were a teacher. And that's what I knew you were. You always corrected my pronunciation and my enunciation, and your attention to the way I wrote, the way I would do things and have to erase and redo. I was like, yeah, she's a teacher. And it wasn't until middle school, and you overheard me saying this, you're like, Tara, I'm not a teacher, I'm an accountant. I was like, no, you're a teacher. And so that aspect of doing my best and putting my best effort forward is what, amongst many things, I learned from you. When I think about the little things that you did that made me feel loved and valued, I knew you and Dad had the philosophy that you're at every one of me and Trina's events. I know you weren't an outdoors person, but I knew that you would always be at the most significant sports events. So when I would make it to regionals or state and track, you would be there. But at every music concert, so violin, piano, in the early years with my ballet and baton. I know that Girl Scouting was your idea, that tulip time and tulip dancing was your idea. And I know that there have been traditions that you've worked, maintain, and still maintain over the years. And I know that I haven't always been the most appreciative or receptive, but that's stayed with me. And wanting you to know that your influence and your impact on me and the strong woman that you are and your push for excellence in me is what's made me strive and work to be the best that I can be. And I love you more than anything, Mom. And I'm so that you're with us. Happy 75th. Have an amazing, amazing birthday. I love you.